thank you again. We appreciate everyone that stayed and really enjoying this. I'm learning a lot myself. I'd like to introduce Tim Geisler. Tim is the founder of iPar Technologies, established by firemen for firemen, with the goal of creating a mobile software application that could help save lives of firemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Geisler.
Good afternoon. Actually, I ought to kind of keep up. I have a lot of information, but I'm just trying to keep up. This happens across public safety agencies every day, every week, every year. These people are killed attempting to save lives. Why? Accurate personnel accountability reporting could help reduce the number of line of duty deaths. Good evening, my name is Tim Geisler. I'm the president and founder of iPar Technologies. iPar Technologies is a company founded and driven with one goal, and that's the goal to help save lives. I'm currently a full-time captain with the Prairieville Fire Department, and I have over 13 years of service in the fire industry. A few years ago, I was working in the 911 center, listening to radio traffic at the dispatch center. And while listening to the incident, I looked down at my phone and envisioned an application that could help save lives. An application to help keep track of firefighters on the scene of an incident. And I took into account the limitations and failures of our current system that we use today. I felt there could be a more effective way, one that was more efficient and easier to use, and one that could be mass deployed. Effective accountability has four basic but very important components. Who am I accounting for? Where is the activity taking place? What job or activity are they doing? And how long have they been at that location? How do we accurately track and account for resources or personnel on the scene of an incident? As firefighters and crews move from room to room, their location and task are radioed back to the incident commander, and that information is updated. As locations and tasks change, their timer must be updated to reflect that new location. This becomes difficult to manage as more and more activities are added to the incident, especially with the current systems in place today. The current systems in place today aren't able to keep up with this activity. The who, the what, where, and how long must be kept accurate to help save lives. The current accountability systems that are in use today offer no feedback, no history. They have limited information, they have static information, limited quantities, they have setup delays, and they're very, very expensive. iPar is a software company developing and deploying an application on the world's most successful mobile platform, the Apple iOS. We have created an application specifically designed to run on all Apple mobile product lines, along with over 316 million products sold. We have started the first and only personnel accountability application available on a super mobile platform. In a super mobile, I mean a phone. A computer is mobile, but it's not as mobile as a phone. And right now, there's no current competitor offering this type of solution on a mobile platform. We've developed from the ground up and designed it to be tailored to any fire department out there today. We created important safety reminders designed to help make tactical decisions on the fire scene. We can assign or view firefighters' location on the scene and their tasks that they're doing. And we have live visual reference of elapsed time in one view. And what we answer here is we answer the what, the where, the how long, all on one screen, all live. We have resources that separate resource types. And we also have a feature, recalls incident information for printing, email, additional training, trending, reports. Our current product caters to all segments of the fire service. Competitor products target just the actual fire departments, roughly about 32,000 of them. iPar Technologies offers a solution that targets both the firefighter and the fire department. The solution that iPar Technologies has created has a possibility to deploy to over 1.3 million firefighters and over 8 million firefighters worldwide. We have minimal to no hardware cost required for deployment. There's a pretty good chance that someone already has an Apple product. All they have to do is install the software. An iPar Fire is currently the only industry-specific application that does not require an internet connection to use. Additional products and services. iPads are replacing mobile computers at an unprecedented rate. iPar Technologies are ready with the iPar Fire XL. Utilizing the information collected during an incident, we've created a set of online services to further enhance post-incident analysis, in turn generating recurring revenue. A list of solutions geared towards fire departments administration. iPar can rapidly grow into vertical markets while the original business model and development stays the same. Our current key local partners established during the beta testament of iPar Fire. Our team. How we plan to market our product, trade shows, and social media. Right now, our company, we like to put checks in all these boxes right here. We need help. We have been able to establish iPar Fire and data services of stage 1, but future growth depends on more partnerships, financial support, and strong business leadership. And iPar Technologies will provide a tool to save lives one device at a time.
Questions for our panelists?
Could you give us a little more background, what you were doing before you started this?
I worked at a couple different jobs. I worked for an electrical company, and then I got into fire service. I've been an EMT for almost 14 years, and then been in fire service for over 13. I'm going too fast. Yes, sir.
Yes, I see that you have the location and incident reports for the individuals. What about blowback to the captains? In other words, perceived threats and graduations of the threat lethality, if you will, and the coordination of the individuals assigned to suppress and or support individuals dealing with the threat. That might really blow it out the water for you.
Right now, the problem with using any kind of GPS software or tying that back into is that the civilian are limited with the accuracy of the GPS.
I wasn't referring to the GPS, just the assessment of the captains that would say, okay, here are the threats and collecting information as it's in process, if that's possible.
On the iPad, yes, we can grow and use that as an incident command system.
Yes.
Here, we're limited on real estate, so this is geared to be a quick deployment, really also for volunteers. 86% of volunteer departments go from their house to the scene,
Right.
so they can pull out their phone and they can start accounting for firefighters on the scene. So yeah, we're just limited on real estate for that.
Gotcha.
Are you dependent on the individual personnel out there in the field inputting the data on their iPhones to track them? They have to indicate how long they've been where, how?
What happens is the way it's designed, it comes blank, so it's designed to be catered to any fire department. So they can use their own terminology, their own names, their own everything. Once they load that, which we've created an online service to streamline that, because it could be very tedious on the phone. So once they get that in there, that information's already ready. So when they get to a scene of an incident, they can just pull out their phone and they can assign you to go do a job, they can assign you to go do a job, and that information is now being kept in time. And then after a certain amount of time, the device will remind them, hey, you need to check on them. Or as they move, I can do 1-2 little clicks, and now their location task and their timer is updated. As opposed to waiting for your chief to get there with the computer, maybe called by a train, or you have one of those dry erase boards. As soon as you erase that and put a new location, all the history and information is gone.
Coordinated first response visualization would be what you're aiming for then.
What was that?
Coordinated first response visualization. essentially the command people are gonna be aware of where their people are and much more in touch with what they're doing. They would need to know that.
This also allows for, in our situation, volunteer, the guy who's ultimately in charge of the whole situation, he can't be tethered to this computer right here
Right.
because they're limited resource. So this allows them to be mobile, still move, listen to the radio, and make those changes. So in the event something does happen,
Right.
he has that information right there. Yes, sir.
As a former volunteer firefighter, the first thing I did was leave my phone in the car. Because I don't get reimbursed for losing the phone whenever I'm on site. So that stays in the car. So on top of that, with the heavy firefighting gloves and everything else, it's a lot of information that you're looking for. Have you looked at RFID technology and other instances for mustering points? Because the other thing is, if I've got 10 iPhones out there, which iPhone is going to be the one that's going to centralize all the mustering information? Because if I got, in other words, if I'm accounting for you and I'm accounting for Craig, on my end, somebody else may be accounting for you and somebody else, I might have counted you 2 to 3 times depending on who I'm mustering to.
They have an incident commander who's ultimately in charge of everybody. So technically that incident commander should have one device who accounts for everybody. So if you was a volunteer and you were the first one to show up on the scene, you got a fire engine coming with 2 people, in essence you now have an accountability tool that you can account for yourself and the other 2. Whether you want to go and play, or you can leave your device to the side and say, hey, go ahead and continue accounting, I'm going to play, and you go play. So there's always one person that's designed to account for everybody. So the person, you're not going to take this, account for yourself, put it in your pocket, and you go. So
Time for one more question.
incident commander.
You had showed a little picture in your presentation of like an actual tracking mechanism in, like you showed a blueprint. Can you actually track the firemen throughout the house? You can see in real time where all your men are in the house?
No, like I was talking about the GPS. When you go to the scene of a fire, we don't have the GPS accuracy on a local level to be able to find somebody where they move in the house accurately. So this is all based upon everybody using the old technology or talking on the radio, updating their information, and then having this device give you feedback so you don't forget that Johnny, I saw him 30 minutes ago, but I haven't seen him. Where was he at? I don't know. So 30 minutes can go by like 5 minutes in a chaotic scene.
Thank you very much. All right, our closer for this evening is Hurricake Factory. Product developer, marketer, wholesale behind hurricane-themed bakery goods. Please welcome Stuart Adams.
All right, everybody. Thank you. I'm Stuart Adams. I'm a civil, is that right if I do? All right, I'm a civil structural engineering PhD student, and part of my research has to do with hurricane mitigation. And this is Alexander DeBrock, Lexi DeBrock, and she's the co-founder along with me, and she's an MBA, a current MBA student here at LSU. And so today we're going to present the Hurricake Factory. And so the Hurricake Factory, the vision is to be the go-to food item for hurricane season. We also have, and it's going to be geared around bakery items, bakery goods, and also we're going to have a philanthropic, educational, and mitigation aspect to towards hurricanes. So basically, the pitch is most holidays and seasons in the United States have a go-to food item. Think about it. Thanksgiving has turkey. Christmas has candy canes. Just Born created the peeps and made that and artificially attached it to Easter, and now it's become a phenomenon. And also think about king cakes and Mardi Gras. In that 2.5-month window, millions of king cakes are sold, predominantly in the New Orleans area, a little bit in Louisiana, Mississippi. Well, the same demographic that understands king cakes understands hurricane season. Yet there is not a go-to food item that people can attach themselves to. There's there's a start date of June 1st, an end date of November 31st. There's current events throughout, so when a hurricane is in the Gulf, so it is in the news. And also there is historical events, anniversary of Katrina, anniversary of Hurricane Andrew. It means a lot to different people. Some people it's their livelihood seeing how hurricanes go, so this could be a corporate gift just to remind them, hey, this is hurricane season, get prepared. And also of note, Cubix Pies out in New Orleans which is a major bakery there. Their highest amount of sales have always occurred when a hurricane is in the Gulf. People are looking for something to give them a little bit of peace of mind, and that's what we're going to provide with the Hurricake Factory. And so what this right here, we have a custom designed pan. Lexi can show it a little bit. This is prototype 2. The newest prototype actually is in production right now, and it is a stainless steel casing, and it's actually coated in silicone. And to do that, we've reduced the price to something that we believe the consumers will be able to purchase. And so it's a cinnamon sugar pull-apart pastry, and in the center you're going to have an icing, which is EYECING, because it's the eye of the hurricane, and it's icing. And so, we are about branding. We are, we're in the bakery industry, so we need to make sure we can go the cute route and stuff like that. But there is a good business behind this. We're using common ingredients. We're using things that people like. We have the cinnamon sugar. We're also going to have a savory side. So if you rather breadsticks with marinara, go get that type of hurricane. And think about hurricane season. It's June 1st, November 31st. That's on the other side of the calendar from Mardi Gras season. So when Randazzo's producing 5,000 king cakes a day in New Orleans during Mardi Gras season, those factories or those warehouses are not in production when we would need them. So that's when we would contract out to existing bakeries. We're not, purchasing ovens or anything like that. And so we have a branding sense. This right here is not fully developed. We're going to go with the antique type suitcase. We're going to, with hurricanes, there's a tropical nature to it. Also, you might be evacuating or heading back to your house. We're going to have the icings in like some sort of like a K-cup, a dipping sauce, where that's how you change the flavors. You create one pastry or two pastries, the cinnamon sugar and then the breadstick, and then to change out the flavorings, you're just inserting an icing like that, and so your pastries remain shelf life issue, but so you can increase the amount of flavors tremendously by something with a far greater shelf life. We're also going to offer something called evacuation kits, and those are our cookie cutters, I'll show you right here. So we have cookie cutters, pancake molds. We're going to be selling our mold as well as licensing it to existing bakers and producing our own pastries. This is because we own the trademark to both icing and hurricanes. And so whenever the word hurricane becomes a tradition, the inherent value of our company increases. Whenever a Hurricane Irene came through, I guess last year, that was one of the first hurricanes to strike the United States in over 3 years. Twitter had hashtag hurricanes. We had to call up 10 different bakeries across the East Coast saying, please stop, refrain from using that, including people that were on Oprah's Favorite Things, major bakeries that are featured on CNN. And so we have the trademark for it, so they can't utilize that. We're having provisional patents for our design, pursue copyrights. We have all the username, all the URLs. Those are our two trademarks right there. We're talking about growing it in the area that really understands king cakes and then spreading out from there. The demographic that understands hurricanes is far greater than what understands Mardi Gras at this time. And so when we create that distribution network all the way to North Carolina where the most landfalling hurricanes occur, we'll send them authentic New Orleans style king cakes during king cake season. And so now we're a full year company. So we have the direct to consumers. We're going to build our branding through farmers markets. We're going to have internet sales of both the pastry as well as the bakery goods, and then contracts with existing businesses as well as licenses. This is my family's home after Hurricane Katrina. I have a story to tell. I've learned a lot from Hurricane Katrina. It was a real bonding experience for my family. I was actually in civil engineering, helping with the first hurricane engineering book before Katrina, so it's not necessarily the reason why I do what I do, but we'd like to tell our story, and we have a cause marketing sense, kind of like how Naked Pizza, if anybody's familiar with that, the guy's an anthropologist, and he wants to teach about going back to the basics of food. This is our team right here, myself and Lexi. We're in the student incubator, and we're actually working with the LSU Department of Food Science for our pastry to make sure it has the right shelf life. Right now we're debating, and most likely we'll do a Kickstarter project right around the start of hurricane season. Hurricane, hey, it's time to prepare. We hope we can get some media outlets in that sense, and that's really where we're going to build our bakeware part of our company, and then we're going to continue with product development. We're looking at consumer feedback analysis, and the cause marketing is a major component to this. So thank you. What is the price? So the first time we did it, it cost about $300. Second time we did it, it was about $115. And so we believe with our new iteration, it will cost us about $20 if we order about 50. So I mean, with volume, we can definitely sell the cake or the pan.
The cake.
Oh, the cake. We're going to be similar to king cakes. King cakes are sold on average for $21, and so we're going to be right around that mark. I apologize if you were talking about the pan.
Other questions?
How are we so sure that it's going to sell? We've had very positive feedback. We believe our branding behind it. We believe what we're doing. People, there's a savory kind, there's a cinnamon sugar kind. Hurricanes are definitely, on topic in our area, and we think we have the quintessential food that you need. I mean, when you're going to the hurricane party, what are you going to bring? Also, Cubic Spies is a very good example where they say their top sales are right when a hurricane comes. So when people hear the word hurricane, they might want a comfort food.
I think a big part is the cause marketing.
Not necessarily.
No, I mean, a big part of it is the cause marketing. So if there is not a hurricane, we might not necessarily be giving back directly to an affected area that a hurricane may have hit, but there's still going to be sales. It's still going to be a treat people look forward to. You're not going to Mardi Gras parade every season, but you're still going to buy a king cake. So it's something that people get excited about every season that comes around.
It just seems like with Mardi Gras is a happening day there, and people are partying and they're happening. I know we have hurricane parties and all that, but that's only when there's a hurricane coming. So what would make somebody like that, ooh, I'm gonna go get a hurricane?
What would make somebody say,
Yeah, like just on a regular, you
just
know what I
say,
mean? Just
so
on a
August
regular day.
29th, August 29th, Hurricane Katrina anniversary. I mean, that was a learning experience for a lot of people. It was devastating. Whenever we first came out with this, we had an order for 100 cakes from the Mississippi Department, or Mississippi's FEMA department. I mean, there's a lot of industries. We can come into corporate gifts. There's definitely and also we have other products that we can spawn off this.
And there's a lot of build up too with hurricanes that are not necessarily in the Gulf yet. People are looking out for it, projecting where they might hit. You look at Texas, or even from Texas to Florida, you're saying, I don't know where it's going to go, and then up until like a day or two before, you don't know if you're affected. So that's something that when the market stretches, we're hoping to penetrate all those areas.
But can you gear up that quickly?
We're not cooking out of a singular oven. We would have existing contracts. Like Winn-Dixie has 446 stores in our target market. If we can get a minimum order for each week from them, then we have that, and then we can ramp it up based on that. Because we're looking, especially in this area when we start, there's production facilities that we can tap into. Just like Starbucks goes to a local baker and says, hey, would you make our muffins for us and then supply it? We can go to existing bakers in different locations and then ask them to do it. 'Cause we don't have to.
My question is, okay, there's a hurricane called like Katrina. We didn't know Katrina was coming until the last minute, so she came. Now, during that time, we're all like rushing to get out of here. How is that baker going to be able to ramp up in enough time to supply that product to the
That's where
market?
you have back-end sales as well, where people are buying the hurricanes after the hurricane hits. That's kind of like the cause marketing aspect of it, where we're saying a portion of our sales, we go back to that area that was hit by a Katrina-like storm. So
Right.
they're saying, oh my goodness, the world was devastated. I'm gonna go buy these cakes because I know part of my money is gonna go back to that area.
So it'd be more, you're saying more after than before?
Yes.
It really is it's a mixture of both. Exactly.
You could capitalize on tornado season as well and make a high-rise version.
Over
Serious.
50% of hurricanes spawn tornadoes, and we have another aspect of that as
But
well.
I'd take you out of this market and into the central area of the United States, eastern and all that.
Exactly.
Question / comment. I think the challenge is going to be looking at soda despite it's considered more substance. You see what I'm saying? Like the meat pies, that's something, people go out and buy those types of things during a hurricane because they're considered, something that is more of a survival.
Well, they're a pastry.
Oh,
Cubic Spies is a pastry.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I was thinking you were talking about the meat pies. I don't know. I'm just thinking,
You had mentioned that you were looking into selling the pans on a retail basis. So would you provide sort of a recipe?
Yes.
And if you did.
I didn't have time to highlight it, but there was a burlap bag on the side when you saw the box. And we're going to be packaging pastry mixes, as well as pancake mixes, cookie mixes in that bag. It looks like a sandbag. And so yes, that's going to be included in our evacuation kits.
Is there grilling? I mean, because you don't have power, so would you sort of incorporate cooking this on a gas grill, for instance?
We're not. We looked into that, seeing whether or not we would be, electric independent. However, we decided to go with something that you do need electricity, which most people will.
We've had a lot of interest too in products, not necessarily for hurricane weather events, but for hurricane school mascots and for your aspects like that, where people have actually even looked into selling the pans and cookie cutters, because we want this for our school. Can you make some now and send them to us? So they can be used year round and things like that.
Brad, final question.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on why y'all are restricting the trademark of the name of Hurricane Cake. I understand it's a company name, but when you don't trademark king cakes, and if you're trying
Well,
to.
if you did, you could profit.
So what I'm trying to say is you're trying to get as big as the word king cake.
Correct.
Okay? And I don't think you'll be able to do it by trademarking that name, especially if you sell a pan. But then if I bake you that pan, I can't say, oh, I got a hurricane cake or a hurricane.
You can't. You can license the name from it. We can have a low licensing fee, but that will protect us. And so, and also, if you're a consumer, if you bought the pan, you can make a hurricane. You can call and make it to your family and friends.
The cost benefit analysis of that is, do you want to limit yourself slightly possibly and go with the licensing? Or do you want to protect yourself from the potential of some huge company just swooping and stealing your idea and going with it? So that's where I want the trademark option.
All right, thank you very much. Our next stage is we're going to ask the panelists to tally the numbers, and we'll have a little bit more music for you.